Donald Trump's goal to win re-election costing lives worldwide. At any one time, many of us have been on the opposite side of the president. Whether you belong to one political party or the other or are an independent with beliefs combining the two, there have been presidents you rarely agree with. This can be upsetting on many different levels as you watch life unfold in a way that contrasts with your beliefs. However, if you are on the opposite side as Donald Trump, there can't be anything more infuriating or frightening than the measures he has taken or not taken in the 3.5 years he has been president. Frankly, it would take too much time in this article to list them all. But the moves he is making with the coronavirus are on a different plane altogether. He is costing lives, and they are not just American lives. He is costing lives throughout the world, making decisions that suit himself and his needs that will impact lives for longer than he is in office, whether he is re-elected or not. His former National Security Advisor John Bolton wrote in his tell-all, "I am hard-pressed to identify any significant Trump decision during my tenure that wasn't driven by re-election calculations." That's profound. But we also know that many of the decisions he makes are in his desire to one-up former President Barack Obama. He has regularly acted to tear down his predecessor's legacy, dismantling laws, executive orders, and whatever else Obama was credited with. But Trump's decisions in 2020 are stupefying. He is backed into a corner, and the further he gets pinned in, the further he backs in. It's clear he is desperate to win in November and that he will take any action just to do so. He has denied that the novel coronavirus is anything worse than the flu. The danger in this statement is that his followers believe him and don't feel the need to protect themselves and others. There are scores of people walking around, not social distancing and not masking up. There are southern states that reopened quickly and are now paying the price with soaring positive cases, forcing them to reopen. Trump touted the drug hydroxychloroquine and pushed the Food and Drug Administration into issuing an emergency order to use it for COVID-19 treatment without doing studies on it. Eventual studies found it can lead to more deaths. Its use as a treatment was quickly ended. But it's hitting worldwide. Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro has tested positive and is taking it, insisting it's a cure-all for him. There was a significant delay in testing in the beginning. This was because Trump refused to utilize the World Health Organization's testing that they had already developed when there were less than a handful of positive cases in the U.S. He tasked the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention with creating its own test, but it initially failed. The process was contaminated, losing valuable time. And still, while there is much more testing, there are still some areas reporting not enough tests to go around. Meanwhile, people are dying in hospitals from this disease. Trump said at one point that it's a hoax. It has been said many times that this disease primarily affects the elderly and those with pre-existing conditions, but if you look at the victims, that's clearly not an entirely true statement. And now, Trump has followed through with his threat to pull the U.S. out of the association with the WHO. He did this square in the middle of this pandemic and just 4 months before he hopes to be re-elected, when his polling numbers are in the crapper. He is so intent on showing his supporters that he knows best about the coronavirus, or any of the racist names he calls it, that he pulled out of the organization to show them he can have that effect and that the WHO is powerless to stop him. It's all for show. But this isn't a reality show. Mark Burnett is not producing this one. This move to pull the United States out will have a direct effect on lives the world over.